Hi and welcome to JRDF's quick tips series on model assembly. Today we're going to show you how to put some magnets in your model. So let's get started. So what you're going to need for this to start off with is a permanent marker. You can use whatever brand you are most comfortable with. We like Sharpies here. You are going to need your magnets, which come in the kit. We're going to need a little bit of super glue. I've gone for the gel version, kind of whatever you're most comfortable using. I have a piece of wax paper or white paper just so that you can see your magnets. I've got a black desk, so I want things to be a little bit easier. What else are we going to need? You're going to need your parts, actually. So let's just have these off to the side. I'm going to use the landing gear section of the Freelancer just to give you a good idea of how to attach these magnets. And the other wee thing you're going to need is a wee cotton bud, or I think some people call them a Q-tip. Q-tips or hot tips. So the first thing we're going to do is remove the cotton from this little stick here. Okay, so what we're going to do is make sure that we mark all of the ends on the same side with a little bit of Sharpie, and that's just going to help us later on just to really work out how everything goes together. Now these magnets are pretty strong, so you're going to have to be pretty careful that you don't place them too close together. So we'll see how we go because there are 10 of them. So first things first, let's just do a little mark on there. You can go whichever way round you please, as long as all of the ends have a little mark on them. So I'm just going to take that off. Oh, I'm going to try and take that off. I normally like to just try and slide my nail underneath. There we go. And that's one marked. There we go. Let's again just make sure that you're getting these. There we go. So this is a pretty fiddly little job. Take your time with it. Don't lose your magnets. All of the black marks that you've just made, or whatever colour you've chosen, all of the marks are going to be facing into the ship, and then any of the additional pieces that you're going to add, you'll want that mark facing up, and that means that all your magnets will be the right way around, and this should go quite smoothly for you. So I'm just making sure that these are a good space apart because they will want to stick together. When I tried to do this earlier, I didn't leave enough time for the ink to dry. And what ended up happening was I ended up marking the underside. Not ideal. So we're just going to keep going with it. Fantastic. Okay, so just pop those down to dry a little sec. And we can look at preparing our next stage. So, some people prefer to use a little bit of scrap plastic, wood, whatever it is that you like to just daub your little bit of super glue onto. This is actually the underside of one of the build platforms, so you do have, and I've just given that an extra snip there along, just so that it sits nice and flat on the table. So let's have a little look at the pieces. We've already done the dry fit on these, so I know that I'm quite happy with the fit of these elements, so I'm quite happy with that. Give it another check, another little wiggle if you're not sure, because after this stage it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So what we're going to do, so this is going to represent kind of the ship. So, and then these are the additional pieces that are going to come on and off. Across the board, we kind of just say if you have it so that the dark mark is facing in, and then it will be facing out on these additional pieces here. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So let's just move that away for a second. There we go. So just going to put a tiny little bit of super glue on there. We really don't need too much. And as I say, this is the gel. You can use just sort of normal super glue as well. It just depends what your preference is for model building. So the first thing I'm going to do is just using the end of this little cotton bud. Just get a nice bit of glue in there, and I'm just going to put that straight into the hole. Into the hole, maybe a little bit more. You don't need to be too shy with this. There we go. And considering this is still a wee bit sticky, I'm just going to straight up put this piece in here. So just remember that dark mark facing in. So this is the ship piece. And then I've just wiped that in there. So I just popped it in this hole, wiped away, and you can take away any excess with the other end of your cotton bud. There we go. I'm quite happy with how that's sitting, so I'm just going to let that dry, and that you'll kind of want to leave it for about 10 minutes before you do any kind of test fit or any of that, because there we go. Because then the glue will get pulled out, your magnet will get pulled out, and it's just going to be one big mess. So I'm going to dab a little bit more on. There we go. And then we've got these 2 additional pieces, and we will want the dark side or the mark that we've put on it facing out. So on the body piece, the mark's been facing in, and on this, the mark's been facing out. Now, something that super glue will do, it removes the ink. So if you want to remark that afterwards, and I'll just show you how I've done that too, because at this stage, don't be worried if it rubs that mark away. So once again, using the same method, I've got a nice daub of the glue on the end of the cotton bud. Just going to put it in there. There we go. Nice little bit there. Whichever one has the dark side facing up. And then just put that in the hole and just wiping it away. So I'm just taking away that excess. As you can see, it has wiped that away a little bit. But don't worry too much, because you can just get your Sharpie back and give that another little mark, just so that you know that you're extra sure that you've got those the right way up. A little bit of peace of mind there for you. So I'm going to put that near, but not next to these other pieces, because we don't want that to come out. And then just for the last piece, so this is the interchangeable side of the landing gear / feet for it. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit more of that in that wee hole. Maybe use a tiny bit more glue there, actually. There we go. I'm just getting a good little daub on there. And I'm just going to show you this one extra close up. There we go. Popping that glue in the hole. We wipe. And then, okay, so we've got a little piece here. Dark mark facing up. There we go. And we're just going to pop that into his wee hole. Oh, you want to go in now? Oh, there we go. There we are. And then we're just going to wipe away all that excess glue. Because this is a contact point, don't worry too much about the Sharpie. It's more about the glue and just sort of considering the fit that was in there. And once again, if you want, just remark that piece, so then you're definitely sure that you have your additional pieces with their little marks on them, and then you have this piece safe in the knowledge that that dark mark is facing on the inside, and thus that all of these are facing the right way round. So there you go, that's how to put magnets into your ship. I hope this tutorial on magnets was helpful. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to show you how to put some magnets into your model. That just looked like drugs. No props.